Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Raw. And tonight, we kick us off with a one-on-one non-title matchup, as it is Mr. A-Town himself, Austin Theory. Austin Theory, one of the new members of The Vision. Austin Theory will be accompanied down the ring with the Maverick, Logan Paul, for this matchup, as Logan Paul won a #1 Contenders Battle Royal last week to become the newest #1 contender to the U.S. Championship that currently Randy Orton holds. So coming up at Backlash, ladies and gentlemen, from what I understand, it will be Randy Orton versus Logan Paul for the U.S. Championship. Certainly should be one heck of a matchup. We'll see if Randy Orton can hold that championship a little bit longer. But certainly with the Vision, they're starting to slowly, surely close in on some championships, and very well you could see Logan Paul walk out with the U.S. Championship. And then you got Seth Rollins, if he's able to defeat LA Knight tonight, he goes on to face off with Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cannot wait to see how that goes, but we have a non-title matchup just in a matter of moments here. Tonight, we got ourselves big-time match after big-time match here on Monday Night Raw, including the final round of the #1 Contenders Tournament matches, as we'll see Pretty Deadly in action taking on the Street Profits on a 2-on-2 Tornado Tag Team matchup. Also tonight, we see Bianca Belair, who is the current Women's U.S. Champion. She's in action against Kiana James, as well as the former Women's World Champion Charlotte Flair, who got stomped in the middle of this ring a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. She'll be in action taking on Asuka. So plenty of big action on the road to Backlash. And we'll hear some other things tonight, as well as we'll hear from Jacob Fatu, and we'll even hear from Royce Keys tonight, who made his debut on Monday Night Raw recently, coming up a bit short against Seth Rollins, but the big man Royce Keys is in the house, and like we said, we'll be hearing from him tonight, as well as Jacob Fatu, because Jacob Fatu, he has a match coming up very soon, taking on Solo Sikoa, the leader of the MFTs. So a lot to get into, but we have Randy Orton, the Viper, the U.S. Champion, here tonight in this sold-out edition of Monday Night Raw here on Netflix. Randy Orton, Austin Theory, one-on-one in a non-title match. Referee rings the bell. Here we go, and look at Randy Orton coming right out of the gate, coming right out here to send a message to Austin Theory and Logan Paul of this Vision. Randy Orton's not going to allow this Vision to try to decimate him whatsoever. Theory a little bit fast in the exchange there, but Orton with the roll-up, but there is a rope break. Thankfully, the referee was calling it right down the middle there. A little test of strength. Theory a little bit stronger in this situation against Randy Orton. Referee trying to break it up, and he does momentarily. And a little bit of a cheap shot there from Austin Theory. Theory now going to look to capitalize with this rebound. Oh goodness, what a forearm! He Irish whipped him and then did like a spinning forearm strike. Very, very brutal. But now Orton's got himself back in the ring, back in the action as these guys go back and forth here. A lot to keep up with these two gentlemen. Randy Orton, a veteran in this business, first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. Austin Theory, and certainly he's got a lot to bring to this business. Former U.S. champion, former Raw Tag Team champion back in the day with The Way, when it consisted of himself and Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. Now Austin Theory is joining this vision of Seth Rollins that he has with Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul, like I mentioned, Austin Theory. You got Paul Heyman, the Oracle of the group. And obviously the head man, Seth frickin' Rollins. And like we mentioned, with a win tonight over LA Knight, he gets the challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship against Mark Henry. in that main event tonight, if any Vision member gets involved, Becky Lynch gets stripped of her Women's World Championship. And we cannot forget, like I mentioned, Becky Lynch is a part of that Vision as well. We'll see that match live at Saturday night's main event. It's going to be the week right after Backlash. And during that week, we're going to see NXT's Vengeance Day with Saturday night's main event. It's a nice takedown there from Theory. Now Theory going to look to go to work, but now Orton with a nice reversal. Now he's going to go to work. And for a power slam, no Theory. Big time DDT. Is now the Maverick Logan Paul getting involved, taking off that top turnbuckle. But look at that referee. He's right on the case. As Theory with a cheap shot, and Orton's pushing him away. A lot of back and forth in this matchup. It's not been one-sided whatsoever, and that's what you love to have in these matches where it's not one-sided. You'll run into matches that are that way, but not tonight, at least momentarily. And now Orton with a submission hold, middle of the ring. Will Austin Theory have to tap out? No, he does not. He slips out of it, and now he's going to go with a single leg submission, but the long arms of Randy Orton helps him with that rope break. And now Theory, what is he thinking about doing? He's setting up Randy Orton for something. Thought maybe he's going to think about his finishing maneuver, but it didn't work out in his favor. Orton now going to look to capitalize. Uh-oh. Are we going to see vintage Randy Orton here, ladies and gentlemen? Here on Netflix, yes we do. And Theory is busted wide open, and now Orton going to look to go to work. Randy Orton RKO'd Austin Theory. RKO out of nowhere, but now Logan Paul getting involved, and Randy Orton said, get your ass out of here. Let me finish your partner. But Logan Paul and Orton going back and forth, exchanging some key words there, and we'll see if it can somehow get Theory back in this matchup. But I don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon as he eats some good old-fashioned snake eyes. Orton now high-risk maneuver from the top rope district. Orton, big-time elbow across the chest into the pinfall. 1, 2, no, 2.5. Certainly not the best way the Vision wants to start off with, losing to Randy Orton to kick us off tonight, but that is a possibility. But Theory doing his damnedest to stay in this matchup momentarily. As oh, look at that exposed top turnbuckle comes into play. I thought the referee already fixed that, but I guess not, as he DDT spikes Randy Orton in the middle of the ring. And now Theory gonna go to work. Oh no, going for that springboard maneuver. Orton rolls out the way. Was that the last ditch effort for Austin Theory in this matchup? And now Orton going to work with these massive punches here. Orton, a former WWE champion here in the series, current U.S. champion, and certainly he's going to have a tough test ahead of him coming up very soon there live at Backlash. And now Orton, oh goodness, right there on the knee of Austin Theory. Now to the second rope, going for that punch, misses out, and Theory capitalizes right across the face, especially right across the nose there. And Theory has to capitalize. This is a great moment right here for this young man, but just as soon as you say that, he gets hit with an RKO, and certainly that is game, set, match over to kick us off on Raw, and it is. Randy Orton with that second RKO, that knockout blow, puts down Austin Theory, and that certainly is not the way the Vision wanted to start off tonight. But it is what it is. And maybe that's how it is. It's going to end tonight, possibly, with LA Knight knocking off Seth Rollins later on tonight in the main event. Logan Paul did everything in his favor tonight to try and get Austin Theory that win. He even exposed that top turnbuckle. I didn't even realize the referee didn't even fix it yet. And, well, Theory threw him in the corner, but eventually Orton was just too much. Connected with that second RKO at the very end, and that was it. Orton back up to his feet, bam, RKO. And that is your U.S. champion for you. Randy Orton picks up a big win to kick us off here on Monday Night Raw. And wait just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. That's Logan Paul. Logan Paul with the knockout blow to Randy Orton. Certainly you cannot turn your back on the vision, ladies and gentlemen, in just one fell swoop, the knockout blow from Logan Paul, and you're seeing it right here, right now, here on Monday Night Raw. Logan Paul going to work on the U.S. champion. These guys will go at it in just 2 weeks' time. As again, look at this. Bam, just stomping away. If you count this week, it's essentially next week here on a part of the Backlash pay-per-view. Oh no. This is not what Randy Orton wanted to see tonight. But right now, he's just getting stomped away on. Logan Paul wants to send a message to the U.S. champion. And it seems like this may be the opportune time as he drops the steel steps right in front of the announce table. Orton stirring up to his feet. This ain't going to end well for the Viper. And again, over and over again, man. This is just horrendous. And now Logan Paul going for his steel chair. I can only imagine what is craziness is going in the mind of Logan Paul. Logan Paul throws the steel chair, and now Logan Paul has busted open the U.S. champion. Oh, hell is broken loose here, and this is just the opening parts of Monday Night Raw. As you can just see the blood flowing off the face of Randy Orton, ladies and gentlemen. You hate to see it. Oh no, Logan Paul. Oh, trying to pick up Randy Orton, but Randy Orton with a pivotal moment, and now, oh, vicious uppercut. Randy Orton gonna try to get the upper hand here on Logan Paul as he tosses him down to the other side of the arena here. Oh, look, Logan Paul ducked the RKO. I believe that's what Orton was trying to set up there, and it did not work out in his favor. And now Orton in trouble, and he gets his head bounced right off that steel post, that LED post. Again, this is just diabolical. Just when you thought Randy Orton was going to be able to get back into the situation, Logan Paul has the answers to everybody's questions. Again, just destroying Randy Orton, the U.S. champion. Diabolical stuff here on Raw's Netflix edition of Monday Night Raw. Over and over again. Just absolutely vicious, ladies and gentlemen. And it continues, it seems, as trying to throw him into that steel LED post. And again, a knockout blow from the Maverick Logan Paul. Just the man I've been looking for, Royce Keys. Now, Royce, last week you made your Raw debut. You had a big moment against Seth Rollins. It didn't go your way. I was just coming back here. I just want to see how you're doing mentally after that big moment you had last week by making your WWE debut on the grandest stage of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Where is your mind at currently? How am I feeling? I feel awake. Last week wasn't a loss. It was a wake-up call. I walked into Raw and went straight for the top guy. Former world champion, main eventer, Mr. Spotlight himself. And yeah, Seth Rollins beat me. But here's what nobody's talking about. I had him rocked. I had him scrambling for a moment. Just a moment. The whole world saw it. They saw that I don't almost belong here. I am here. I didn't come to Raw to shake hands and gain experience. I didn't come here to be a highlight in somebody else's entrance video. I came here to break the mold of what a rookie is supposed to look like. You think losing my first match scares me? I've built my whole life getting told I wasn't ready, wasn't polished, wasn't the guy. Look at me. Look at me now. So here's what's next for Royce Keys. I'm not running from the fire. I'm walking straight into it. Anybody in that locker room who thinks last week exposed me, step up. Anyone from veterans to champions to legends, I don't care. Because every time that bell rings, I'm taking another piece of this company until there's nothing left to take. And everybody's saying my name whether they like it or not. Seth Rollins, you were chapter 1. Trust me, the story only gets more violent from here. Good to see you, William. And now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to figure out who is joining the Vision and the MFTs on next week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Will it be Kit Wilson on the left and Elton Prince on the right of Pretty Deadly? Or will it be the Street Profits? We're about to find out in a matter of seconds in this Tornado Tag Team matchup. Certainly Pretty Deadly. When we have seen them at times, they have been pretty impressive. And you could probably argue that they've been more impressive than the Street Profits. No offense to the Street Profits, they just have not really gotten many opportunities as of late, especially in 2025. We'll see how it goes here in 2026. Big time tag team matchup though in the division. Winners of next week's Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team match will go on to Backlash to challenge the Dudley Boys for the Tag Team Championships. And you're probably wondering why we don't see the Dudley Boys much, as I mean they are part-timers, but they have dominated the tag team scene ever since they have become tag team champions. So William Regal has given them essentially, time off to have these other tag teams really step up to the plate and really figure out who is really next in line and worthy of taking on the tag team champions. I'm sure William Regal would love to have the Dudley Boys more here on Monday Night Raw, but they've been pretty dominant as tag team champions. They haven't lost those tag team championships ever since getting them. And now get your red Solo cups ready, as here comes the Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. The Street Profits. Will tonight be the night that these guys get finally where they want to be here in WWE and to challenge for those tag team championships? Well, step one tonight is winning this Tornado Tag Team match. Step two is going on to that Triple Threat Tornado Tag Team match next week. And then step 3 is going to Backlash to challenge for those tag team titles. And then you know what step 4 is knocking off the Dudleys to become the tag team champions. Is that what the Street Profits can do? Can they get to step 1 tonight by knocking off Pretty Deadly? Well, in a matter of moments, we will find out how that's going to go. Certainly, these guys have worked their tails off their whole entire career. They just have not been able to reach the championship gold here just yet. But step 1 tonight very well could get them into title contention. But they cannot look past the Pretty Deadly group of Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. The Yes Boys. This crowd here on Netflix enjoying what they're seeing by Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Hella athletic, both of these gentlemen, and we'll see it on display in just a matter of moments. Though, who do you guys think, though? Let me know. Pretty Deadly or the Street Profits? Are they going to next week's Monday Night Raw? Referee has rung the bell. Here we go. Kit Wilson, Elton Prince on the offensive here. Certainly a big time moment for both of these men. I should say both of these tag teams, honestly. It's just, tag teams that haven't been, you could say, not really used too much in 2025, looking for more opportunities. What better way than to knock off a tag team, climb up the rankings, and then battle 2 tag teams like the Vision that are relatively new, and then the MFTs that have been around here for a couple years. It'd be a perfect time for these 2 tag teams to throw their names in the hat with that and really see if they can survive those other 2 tag teams. I would say the most underrated tag team would be one of these tag teams in that triple threat matchup next week here on Raw. Elton Prince just toying around with Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins getting stomped in the corner there by Kit Wilson. Wilson with the Irish whip. No rebound. Reversal there from Angelo Dawkins. Now Dawkins will look to go to work here. And like we mentioned, you know, it's going to be one heck of a night from top to bottom, from Raw to SmackDown. Moments ago, we saw Randy Orton pick up a big win over Austin Theory to only get beaten down by his challenger, Logan Paul, at ringside. Randy Orton got busted wide open. Logan Paul was fighting off Randy Orton, was trying to fight back, but Logan Paul is just way too much with those knockout blows, and we're going to see when it comes to that U.S. Championship match. Certainly going to be a tough test here. As no big time clothesline there from Elton Prince. Back and forth we go. Nice DDT there from Kit Wilson. Montez Ford still trying to stay in this fight as much as possible. Right there for his tag team partner Dawkins. Oh goodness, what a clothesline. Very vicious clothesline as we go back and forth here. Kit Wilson taken out momentarily. Look at Montez Ford trying to go with a springboard. Didn't work out in his favor. Nice waistland maneuver there from Dawkins. Still come tonight, massive main event. Seth Rollins LA Knight winner will go on to face the World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry live there at Backlash for the World Heavyweight Championship. Can't wait to see how that's going to go. LA Knight picking up a big win last week over Ethan Page. We'll see if if LA Knight can, you know, knock off Seth Rollins. Last time Rollins and Knight faced off here on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins beat LA Knight. So this time around, we'll see if LA Knight can dig down deep tonight and figure something out. This is a straight up one-on-one contest. No Vision, no Oracle, no nothing at ringside. We are going to see if Rollins can get it done all by himself. If any member of that group decides to show up, Becky Lynch will be dropped of her, or basically stripped of her Women's World Championship. Which would be a shame for Becky Lynch, but especially the way that they're going about it. I mean, you know, you're starting to have intergender stuff getting involved. That's going to start making stuff more tough, especially with Rollins curb stomping Charlotte Flair a couple of weeks ago here on Monday Night Raw. I mean, you didn't need to do that. Becky Lynch could have handled Charlotte Flair possibly, but you know, this new Vision didn't care about what they wanted to do here. They wanted to make sure Becky Lynch didn't have any trouble whatsoever, and it was an easy title defense. Is Montez Ford with us over the top rope cross body. That's a big move there from Montez Ford. Kit Wilson trying to take it to Angelo Dawkins here. Who is going to go to the Go Home show next week, live here on Monday Night Raw? Big time opportunity for both of these teams to showcase what they got. Is now Ford going to go for a power slam? It looks like. No, he's not. Big knee right to the shoulder blade area. Oh, look at Elton Prince dealing with Ford. Back and forth. Nice reversal into the corner. Let's see what Ford can do here. Oh, the code breaker out of nowhere from Kit Wilson. And, oh, luckily for Montez Ford, he was right there to break it up. Right there, Kit Wilson from behind, saving his tag team partner. And, oh, goodness, an uppercut right to the middle of that back. That stuns him momentarily. Are the pretty deadly group going to move on? No, they will not. At least not yet. As the matchup will continue. As look at Kit Wilson. He's cowering down to Montez Ford as Elton Prince. Oh, goodness. What a boot to Dawkins. Pinfall. Is this it? 1, 2. Oh, very close to 3, but the matchup will continue as now Montez Ford will look to help out his tag team partner. Just in the nick of time, going for a scoop slam. Elton Prince able to get himself right out of it. Back and forth we go. As, oh, goodness, a back rake. Simple but effective. Certainly that's what you got to do in these moments. As over the top rope you go. Down goes Elton Prince. As Kit Wilson taking it to Ford. Dawkins now going to look to take it to Wilson now. And if you're the Dudley Boys and these other tag teams, You know, you got to be in the lookout, really trying to figure out what is going to work in these matches. Is Dawkins not having enough to keep Wilson down? Oh, the silencer right there to Elton Prince. That should have been enough, but somehow Prince is leaving out, and a corkscrew uppercut destroys Montez Ford, and now Kit Wilson could be putting the final moments away of this match. Does not, and now Ford will look to capitalize. Standing drop kick takes him down, and now here comes Elton Prince, going to look to go to work here. Ford from up top, frog splash from the heavens into the pinfall attempt. Elton Prince right there to break it up, though. We've not seen that frog splash in quite a while, as it is nice to see that maneuver. Oh, nice reversal from Elton Prince as he was about to get hit with that sledgehammer. And now, going to go for that silencer again to Elton Prince. Pinfall opportunity. Is that enough? Two. No, he gigs out the very last second. And that's what has struggled with the Street Profits, ladies and gentlemen. The ability to be able to finish in big time moments. Oh, a spear out of nowhere from Kit Wilson, dismantling Angelo Dawkins. Prince now gonna go for the pinfall. Is this enough? No. Montez Ford breaks it up at the very last second. That spear, though, that was out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely vicious. And now Montez Ford with a nice springboard DDT from that second turnbuckle. And now we're down to two. Codebreaker to Montez. Into the pinfall this time around. The other two are down. No one else to break it up. But Ford able to kick out at 2.5. What a tag team match. What a match to kick us off here on Monday Night Raw. As now Elton Prince showing you that aggressive style here. Kit Wilson's got the kendo stick. Throws it right at Dawkins here. And now we're at a stalemate between all the teams, and Dawkins with a spear getting a little bit of revenge there as Dawkins got hit with the kendo stick about 10 seconds prior. And now Elton Prince from the top rope district, big axe handle, takes down one of them, and now a roll through here on Montez. 1, 2, ooh, did he get two? No, just a one. Very close to a two. And now Dawkins in trouble, and so is Montez Ford. Double pinfall opportunity. I'm not sure which one we're going with the pinfall, but Pretty Deadly gets the win tonight. And next week on Monday Night Raw, it will see the MFTs, we will see the Vision, and we will see Pretty Deadly. One of these tag teams will go on to win next week and face off with the Dudley Boys live at Backlash. And that was a hell of a tag team match. Very impressive from seeing both of these tag teams go at it. Could have been anyone's ball game, but ultimately Pretty Deadly with Elton Prince and Kit Wilson getting the job done, and they climb up the tag team rankings here on Monday Night Raw. And we saw that silencer a couple times there. I thought that was going to be enough for the Street Profits to get the job done tonight, but it just was too much of Pretty Deadly at the end of the night, and double pinfall at the same time. I want to say maybe Kit Wilson it was. I don't know who for sure, but definitely for sure Pretty Deadly gets the job done, and we will see them on the Go Home edition of Monday Night Raw next week. Can they pull off the ultimate upset? We will find that out soon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, up next is the Women's U.S. Champion, as well as one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair. Last week here on Monday Night Raw, she was involved in a Women's Tag Team match where it was herself and her Women's Tag Team Champion partner, Jade Cargill, taking on the team of Lash Legend and Nia Jax. Well, certainly we saw an attack before the matchup even started. We saw a little bit of a brawl between both teams, and it ultimately led to the match only going a couple minutes before leading to a draw. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can give you the announcement right here, right now on this edition of Monday Night Raw. For the Women's Tag Team Championships, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill will take on the team of Nia Jax and Lash Legend at Backlash. And then, after Backlash, for Bianca Belair, if you guys have not already known, we are going to see at Saturday night's main event, it will be Bianca Belair defending her Women's United States Championship against the fearless Nikki Bella. So it is going to be an eventful couple weeks in the build-up for this matchup, for both matchups essentially. And now tonight, Bianca's got a one-on-one contest with Kiana James. Kiana James, one of the hottest free agents, essentially a part of, obviously, that WWE draft. Kiana James gets drafted over here to Monday Night Raw. And we'll see how Kiana James fares. She was a part of that Battle Royal last week here on Monday Night Raw. Now she gets a massive opportunity by taking on Bianca Belair, who is a two-time champion currently. You never know what can happen in these matches. Kiana James might be able to knock off a champion. We saw it on Friday Night SmackDown. Shawn Spears, formerly of NXT, he gets drafted over to SmackDown and he knocks off the Intercontinental Champion Sheamus. So we'll see how it fares with these newbies, you could say, when they face off with these champions. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Bianca versus Kiana James. And oh, goodness, what a knee. Right to the kidneys. Maybe even right to the ribs, right in that area. And that's what you want to start off with in the middle, or I should say in the start of this matchup. You want to send a message to the women's roster that you want more opportunities. Well, welcome to one of the biggest shows compared to NXT. You want your show, you want your opportunities. Couldn't think of a better way to do it than knocking off Bianca Belair, who is the current of this generation. This is the era to try to go through her. Bianca Belair wants to continue her legend here in WWE, and certainly she does not want to go down and lose to Kiana James. What a beautiful moonsault from Bianca, but only getting a 2 count. But man, that moonsault from that top rope, that was a great maneuver as Kiana misses whatever she was trying to do, and Bianca going to look to make her pay. Is now Kiana James in trouble. Oh goodness, hard landing right on that bottom rope there. Kiana James got to wake up here if she wants to do anything, and she gets caught. I think she was going for a clothesline. Bianca catches her with a spear. The Women's U.S. Champion, she is on fire. She has brought her A game tonight, and she is, like I said, she's on fire, and she is not planning on losing this match whatsoever. A brutal elbow from the top rope into the pinfall, hook of the leg too. Oh, very close to getting that 3 tonight. And still to come tonight, we are going to be hearing from Jacob Fatu before his big matchup there live at Backlash. We're going to see those two go to wars. Wait a minute. Cradle here, looking to defeat Bianca Belair. Not even a 1 count. But like we said, we're going to be hearing from Jacob Fatu later on tonight about Solo Sikoa. We're going to see how that matchup fares at Backlash. And certainly we just heard from Royce Keys, who's going to be a big player on Monday Night Raw. He said, hey, Chapter 1 was Seth Rollins, and certainly we'll see the other chapters on the road of Royce Keys' career. And he said, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a champion, if it's a legend, you know, anything in between. If they want to make a name, if they want to face Royce Keys, he doesn't care. He'll gladly have a match with anyone on this roster. I'm curious to see where Royce Keys is going to be on this roster in the terms of who he's going to face next. A lot of great talent on this roster that wants to step up to the plate. Well, hey, you want a big time matchup. Hey, Royce Keys, he's a big time free agent signing here in WWE. As now Kiana James telling Bianca to get up to her feet. Bianca taking her sweet time, maybe almost like sandbagging her almost, or kind of playing 9 games. As nice back body drop takes it to Kiana James. And now Bianca Belair looking to go to work here. Devastating blows. This ain't going to end well. Oh, goodness. What a neck breaker to Kiana James. Pinfall opportunity. Oh, but a strong one kick out there from James. This is the moment where Kiana James needs to build some kind of momentum and kind of really showcase what has brought her to the Monday Night Raw roster. Nice dodge there from Bianca. She didn't dodge that punch, though. And now from behind, back suplex folds Bianca like an accordion. And now Bianca doing the veteran maneuver, rolling outside the ring to try to give herself a couple moments. But now Bianca has her up. And now down she goes. What a brutal maneuver. But now somehow Kiana, pure adrenaline, fighting back against the U.S. champion as she tosses her back inside the ring. Referee at a 3. Still got plenty of time here. Back inside the ring. Bianca striking a little bit quicker here. Looking to send a message to Kiana James with a military press slam. And I think Bianca's done playing around. Setting up Kiana James. Looking for a KOD. Can she get her in position? No! Stunning elbow strike momentarily. And now Kiana James going to look to go to work. Big takedown. And now just big knee right to the hip area. Really just trying to stretch out Bianca Belair. Oh, goodness. Kidney shot into a blow to the back of the head. Oof. And now Kiana's setting her up for something here. She was trying to set it up moments ago. And now this time she's just trying to go with the forearm. Bianca was able to move out the way, thankfully, or that could have been a bad result there. Now Bianca, just a big boot in the corner. Not the best feeling to feel that at all. And now this is where Bianca, yeah, she didn't get the KOD, but now this is where she has to capitalize. Maybe go with another moonsault or another powerful maneuver. Maybe a military ground press. I don't know. You got to figure out something to try to put away Kiana. And now Kiana telling Bianca to get up to her feet. What does Miss James have in store? Forearm into, oh goodness, I don't even know what you want to call that. Very innovative flatlining type of maneuver. Is that enough? 2. No. Very last second. Bianca Belair kicks out. I thought it was going to turn it into like a neck breaker of sorts, but it looked like some kind of swinging flatliner of sorts. Very effective. Now Kiana has the champion in trouble. This is a non-title matchup, but even still, if Kiana can pick up the biggest win of her career, this would be the best time to do it. There's a lot on Bianca's plate as oh goodness. What a maneuver from Kiana James right off the knee, and that might be it. No, it is not. Bianca kicks out. Man, that looked absolutely vicious. And now Kiana looking to look for the killer blow one more time. Going for the forearm. Misses out. And now Bianca done playing around. Has her up for the KOD. Drops her right in the middle of the ring. And Bianca not done. Is she going for a second one? Nope, she's going for a clothesline. She's continuing to fire up here. She wants to make sure she puts down Kiana James once and for all here. Oh, but a vicious knee strike keeps Kiana in this match. And Kiana building up some speed. Nice forearm strike takes down the double champ. And Kiana's feeling pretty good about herself, and rightfully so. She's doing quite well against the champion. And now let's see what Kiana can do. Dragging her all the way to the other side of the arena. Now Bianca has a big cut on the forehead. And then look at that blood just spewing out. And now big clothesline turns her around. Turns her, or folds her like an accordion. And now look at this big boot right in the chest area. But it turns out Bianca able to block it. Into the nice standing moonsault there. Absolutely vicious. And now Bianca, can she somehow put away Kiana James? Has her up. Looking for another KOD this time around. Pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Bianca Belair does it. What a win tonight. She really had to dig down deep tonight to walk out victorious for that U.S. Championship. And wait, behind her, Nikki Bella, the #1 contender. These two go at it live at Saturday night's main event. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Charlotte Flair to take on Asuka one-on-one. Two of the most accomplished women in the history of Universe Mode, especially up there, I would say. Asuka's accomplished a lot, Charlotte Flair has accomplished a lot, and we're seeing it come to a head here tonight as Charlotte looks to rebound after obviously getting curb stomped a number of weeks ago here on Monday Night Raw in that WrestleMania rematch, where it was scheduled to be Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. And then, well, we all saw how the Vision's vision came to a head with Rollins attacking Charlotte Flair before the match started, curb stomped her, and then it left the scraps for Becky Lynch to defeat Charlotte Flair. So now we get to see how this matchup turns out tonight with Charlotte Flair taking on Asuka one-on-one, as Charlotte Flair will be going to Saturday night's main event in a couple weeks here. 3 weeks to be exact. Well, actually, you count this week, next week, and the following week. So I would say consider it 3 total weeks. It'll be the week after Backlash. So Backlash is next week. So 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, obviously. But the major focus is that Charlotte versus Becky Lynch matchup there, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of the biggest matches in the history of Saturday night's main event for sure. And it's the first ever Saturday night's main event in the history of Universe Mode. So the matches, they've already been stacked so far, and what we're adding, I mean, it's bound to be a really good card with different championship matches, personal feuds from top to bottom, as here comes Asuka. Asuka normally will have Kairi Sane with her at ringside, but tonight this is a straight up one-on-one contest. Asuka willing to do anything in her power to pick up the victory. So if we might see some poison mist, we might see that spit right in the face of Charlotte Flair tonight. It's just a matter of right place, right time for Asuka to use it, and wrong place, wrong time for Charlotte Flair to be in that situation. We'll see, but ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see how WWE Backlash turns out. We certainly have a lot of big time matches coming your way, including the Mark Henry World Heavyweight Championship match. It'll either be Seth Rollins or LA Knight for that World Heavyweight Championship match. And obviously we got matches from SmackDown on that show as well. So a lot from top to bottom on these cards. Some matches you won't see on Backlash, you'll see on Saturday night's main event, and vice versa. You don't see it on Saturday night's main event, you see it on Backlash, and there's nothing wrong with that. Having 2 pay-per-views that close, it introduces that new Saturday night's main event, which will be a pay-per-view that you will see a lot in this series, multiple times throughout the year. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. And oh, look at Asuka coming right out the gate, trying to bring the strikes to Charlotte Flair, and she does. And a big question, and coming into this match, is Charlotte Flair's, 100%. This is the first time we've seen her since that vicious assault from Seth Rollins and the Vision. Especially getting curb stomped multiple times into that ring, and then Becky Lynch hitting her Vex bottom on Charlotte Flair. Certainly it is something to really keep an eye on, especially with Asuka with her strong strikes as well. Those could be even killer strikes in this matchup. Oh, goodness. Certainly you don't want to get your face stomped in like that. And I think Charlotte, she's the type of competitor, even though she's strong-willed, and she's obviously the queen, she's the daughter of Ric Flair. Certainly she had one hell of a 2025, knocking Jade Cargill away from being the champion here on Monday Night Raw. Had a lengthy reign before losing it to Becky Lynch for that Women's World Championship, and now Becky doesn't plan on losing that championship anytime soon here. But if she has anyone from the Vision gets involved in certain matches, it seems like William Regal is willing to strip her of the championship. So certainly this new vision has to be careful on what they are trying to accomplish. As now Charlotte Flair pushing Asuka into the corner here. Now the referee can feel the tension brewing between both of these women. Asuka ain't afraid to break the rules. Neither is Charlotte. Roll up here with the legs. Is this enough? No. Asuka lets go of it now. Asuka continuing to bring that fight here. Oh, goodness. What a punt kick right to the middle of that back. You can hear that from the cheap seats up top here. And now Asuka, big elbow misses, and now Charlotte Flair, can she capitalize? A little bit of a cheap shot with that slap to the face. Charlotte Flair allowing Asuka to go back, or get herself back inside the ring here briefly, and now Charlotte will look to get back to work. Over the top rope, though, she goes down. Not the best feeling in the world with that type of situation. But, ladies and gentlemen, still to come tonight here on Friday night, or on Monday Night Raw, we still have your main event coming up next with Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. As Asuka looking to go high risk, high reward situation. Missile drop kick misses. Charlotte able to get out of it. And now the referee has started her count. As both of these women continue to go at it, we are at a 2. We do have some time if they want to accomplish some stuff, but certainly it'd be a shame to have ourselves in a double countout. Charlotte Flair with the head scissors here, trying to send a message to Asuka. Asuka getting out of it. Back and forth we go here at ringside. Going to go for a power slam, big scoop slam. Referee now at a 5. You feel the intensity going up right now as Asuka getting back inside the ring. Wait, she's taking off the top turnbuckle right in front of Jessica Carr here. We were at an 8 there briefly. Charlotte's got to get back in the ring. Asuka, is she going to walk out with a win? 9. No, she doesn't. Charlotte Flair now will look to get a win here. Leg drop right across the chest of Asuka. We'll see when that referee decides to fix that top turnbuckle, if it will go in the favor of Asuka or if it will go in the favor of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte setting up Asuka here. What does she have in store? Good old-fashioned... Oh, wait, no. Asuka with a reversal. Looking like she's going for that handstand clothesline. Did not work out in her favor. And now Asuka looks to go to work. Armbar. Armbar on the arm here. Referee now finally seeing it. This is going to rip the arm out of socket. Charlotte Flair's got to be very careful to be put in that position. Spinning heel kick. Here comes Asuka. And then, hip attack right to the face. And now Asuka looking to put the cherry on top of the sundae. Frog splash to Charlotte Flair. But she's not done yet. Charlotte Flair in trouble. Asuka gonna look for the Asuka lock. Asuka lock is applied, middle of the ring. Nowhere to go. Will Charlotte have to tap out? She's taking a lot of damage, but Asuka lets go of it. And Asuka again she could be setting up for an Asuka lock again. She's telling her to get up to her feet. Taking up some valuable time here as now Asuka gets hit with a rebound clothesline, big elbow. Actually, no, I believe she dodged it briefly, and Asuka with a tailbone maneuver. Goodness, that certainly ain't gonna feel good. And now Asuka trying to decide what she wants to do, and she connects with a nice standing drop kick. Who is going to walk out victorious in this big-time matchup? Wherever Becky Lynch is at, I mean, I haven't personally seen her, but if Becky Lynch is here, certainly she's going to be glued to the monitor to see how her challenger is doing in this matchup as an STL reversal from the former champion. Pinfall from Charlotte Flair. Hook with the leg. No, just a 1 count, though. Charlotte Flair feeling a little bit of frustration, trying to figure out what she needs to do to put down one of the most accomplished women here in the series as Asuka walking the ropes into a drop kick. That was a great maneuver there from Asuka. Shoulders are down. Jessica Carr in position. 1, 2. Ooh, very close. 2.5. Asuka very close to putting away Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte Flair, one of the dirtiest people in the game, still surviving. As look at the submission hold. Nowhere to go. This is going to be tough for Charlotte Flair to get out of this. She might tap out. But no, Asuka releases it, realizes that that Charlotte Flair was not going to tap out, at least from that position. And now Asuka again trying to set up Charlotte Flair for something here, going for the kicks. And luckily for Charlotte Flair, she was able to get out of that, because if Asuka connected with that maneuver, she was going to probably walk out victorious. And again, Asuka one step ahead of Charlotte Flair here. And over the top rope, down goes Charlotte Flair with an awkward landing to the outside. And now the referee has started the count here. Now, if you're Asuka, do you allow Charlotte Flair to recuperate here at ringside? And I guess that answer is going to be no. Because you could, allow Charlotte Flair to use that whole 10 count to get back inside the ring, or, you go back out there and get her and do some more damage. But, Asuka's going to do what she wants to at this opportunity. And now Charlotte fighting back at this opportunity. Can Charlotte get back in this matchup? Swinging of that left leg. And now this is the Charlotte Flair that we all know. Charlotte Flair's all fired up here. This is not what Asuka wants right now. Uh-oh, going for the figure four. Is she going to branch it out into the figure eight? Here we go. The figure four is locked in. She's going to branch it. Yes, she does. Figure eight. Will Asuka tap out? No. She lets go of it, realizing that Asuka was not going to tap out. Oh, is she going to do it one more time? Hey, why not? Do it once. Maybe some mind games with it. Didn't work out the first time. Why not do it a second time? Charlotte Flair branches it for a second time, but again, just not enough to really believe that she was going to put away Asuka. But the damage has been done to the legs. Does she go for it for a third time? Is my question. It's a nice spinning elbow strike. Into the pinfall. Is this enough? 2. No, Asuka kicks out at 2.5. Just beat down after beat down. Charlotte feeling the pressure right now. Both women have hit big time maneuvers here. Who can really dig down deep at this stage of this matchup currently? And Asuka's about to eat the post. Oh, goodness, shoulder first. But Asuka with a big reversal there. Going for, spinning elbow. That certainly will do its damage. And now Charlotte Flair in trouble. A little bit of almost like a triangle choke. Different variation of it. But Charlotte Flair, can she get out of it? Can she power it? Yes, she does. Just enough. Just enough to get out of it. Both of these women are feeling this fight right now. And a spear out of nowhere from Charlotte Flair. A last-ditch effort in this matchup. Shoulders are down. Referee finally in position. And no, 2.5. How much more can these women withstand as Charlotte setting up Asuka one more time? Is she thinking figure 4? Nope. Time for some natural selection here on Monday Night Raw. Certainly that has to be at this time around. 1, 2, 3. No! Asuka kicks out of that one as well. Holy mackerel, ladies and gentlemen. Back and forth we go, and Asuka with a stiff spear to Charlotte. Into the spinning heel kick right to the ribs. And now here comes Asuka with the hip attack the second time around. And now Asuka, she's taking off the top turnbuckle. She should be going for the pinfall, but she's deciding not to. Now she's going to go for a submission hold, I think. Yes, she will. A devastating submission hold here, trying to humiliate Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte with a devastating elbow, and it keeps her in the matchup. I think, I should say Asuka, she should have just went for the pinfall, because it looked like Charlotte was out of it, but deciding not to. And now Asuka and Charlotte continue to go back and forth. Asuka walking the ropes into a nice drop kick. And now into the pinfall opportunity. Is that enough to put down Charlotte Flair tonight? 2. No, Charlotte kicks out again. And look at Asuka. She cannot believe it. She thought that drop kick was going to be enough. Man, these women are absolutely tearing each other a new one tonight. And that's what you love to see. Just all-out war. Certainly Charlotte has not lost a step after being stomped a couple weeks ago here on Raw. Big axe handle to the back leads to a pinfall. Is this enough? 2, 3, it is. Charlotte picks up the win. And no. Becky Lynch from behind. Gosh dang it. Becky Lynch takes down the challenger. Solo, you and me, we come from the same blood, same family, same warriors that paved the road before us. But somewhere along the way, you forgot what blood means. I fight for family. I fight with pride. I fight with honor. You fight with anger. You fight with jealousy. You fight like a man who's scared somebody else might take his spot. I watched you hide behind the bloodline. I watched you act like the enforcer when you were just doing somebody else's dirty work. At Backlash, there's no bloodline, no backup, no orders to follow. It's just you and me. You like hurting people, Solo? You like leaving bodies behind? You want to be the most dangerous man in this family? Good, because I didn't ask for a normal match. I didn't ask for a cage. I didn't ask for a street fight. I went to management and told them, if Solo wants violence, if Solo wants pain, then we're going to make sure one of us doesn't leave on their own 2 feet. So at Backlash, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa is an ambulance match. That means the only way this ends is when one of us gets loaded in the back, doors shut, and driven out of that arena. You want to prove you're the toughest in this family? Then you better be ready to ride in the back of that ambulance, because I promise you, Solo, I'm walking out. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time here live on Monday Night Raw. The winner will be going to Backlash to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship that Mark Henry currently holds. Mark Henry became champion live there at WrestleMania, and now he will be walking into Backlash with the World Heavyweight Championship. The question is now, who will be facing Mark Henry? Obviously, the visionary Seth Rollins sent a message recently to Mark Henry by beating him down. The whole Vision beating down Mark Henry. So now Seth Rollins, he has to earn himself a win tonight. He has to defeat the Megastar LA Knight, who beat Ethan Page last week, to earn this opportunity. William Regal didn't just want to give it to Seth Rollins. Rollins could have been an easy choice to get destroyed by Mark Henry and, kind of have karma come back and bite him and you know what. But certainly, William Regal wanted a high-profile matchup. And what better way than to do it with the visionary leader of Seth frickin' Rollins and also LA Knight, the Megastar. Last time these two have fought in the middle of this ring on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins barely defeating LA Knight in the middle of this ring. Will it be a different result this time around, or it will be another same result with Seth Rollins walking out victorious? If this man has something to say about it, he will say no, and LA Knight will be the one walking out victorious. Could it be the Megastar's moment going into Backlash, ladies and gentlemen? LA Knight believes he should be the one walking into 2026 season as world champion. Certainly it's going to be a tough test. Another hard-fought win is going to have to do it tonight to try to beat Seth Rollins. Rollins is on top of his game. Yes, he suffered the pinfall loss at WrestleMania, but he got himself a crew, this whole new vision, this whole new era for Seth frickin' Rollins. It started after that loss, and it's only gone up from here. And certainly, if anyone from the Vision gets involved tonight, Becky Lynch is stripped of her Women's World Championship. So we'll see what goes tonight here on Raw. Jessica Carr rings the bell. Here we go. LA Knight, the Megastar versus the Visionary, Seth frickin' Rollins. What will give tonight? Winner goes on to Backlash to face off with Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship. Too bad only one winner can come out of this matchup. You can feel the hostility between both men in this matchup, and look at LA Knight with a chop to the neck. Do you blame him? LA Knight's going to be fighting for his life here. And now we'll test his strength. LA Knight pushing him to the ropes. This matchup ain't going to end too well with both of these men, and a little bit of you could say a return there from Rollins. And now both men going back and forth with different blows. All to become #1 contender and get that world championship opportunity. The intensity is there. Nobody knows what's going to happen in this match. What a cheap shot there from Rollins. I know LA Knight kind of started it, but Rollins didn't have to continue to do it, but that's the man he's turned into, unfortunately. And now Rollins going for a clothesline, misses wildly, and LA Knight with his own strikes, but now Rollins with his own reversal. A lot of back and forth expected in this matchup. Both of these men know each other quite well. Last time we saw these guys on Monday Night Raw, in a one-on-one contest, Seth Rollins defeated LA Knight in a great matchup back and forth. But both of these men are completely different this time around. We will see how they fare in this main event of Monday Night Raw. This punch there to the midsection there of LA Knight, but LA Knight fighting back though. And now off the ropes. Ooh, nice spinning elbow there from the Megastar into a nice jumping knee right to the face of Seth frickin' Rollins. Rollins is in trouble. LA Knight now will look to capitalize still off Rollins being busted wide open. This could be an opportunity of a lifetime if LA Knight can capitalize right now. And LA Knight, he's fired up. He's ready to put away Seth frickin' Rollins and go on to Backlash and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. But if you're LA Knight, you've got to stay on Seth Rollins here. You cannot give him any time. As a spear to the outside. And right now, this is the Megastar that you want right now. He's brought his A game against Seth Rollins so far. And now Rollins is going to throw him into the barricade. Almost kind of breaking our barricade as LA Knight with a nice reversal. Once again, I feel like we've said that quite a bit in this matchup with the amount of reversals we've seen between both men in this match. As LA Knight now tossing Seth Rollins back inside the ring. Megastar going to go high risk here. Referee is at a 4. He's got plenty of time to get back inside the ring. LA Knight now with a missile dropkick folds Seth frickin' Rollins. And now LA Knight, what's he thinking about doing here? Is he thinking about the BFT? Here we go. No, reversal from Rollins as the lights go out. LA Knight down and out. And now Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, the world heavyweight champion. Seems like he's making, at least his entrances here, maybe it's just mind games, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Rollins, you might want to watch out here. But Rollins fighting Mark Henry. Henry with an STO, though. Big STO. And then a leg drop to Seth frickin' Rollins. Message being sent here quite a bit with these vicious leg drops here. He ain't afraid. As again with the leg drop missing that time. Wait a minute. Rollins gonna go for the pedigree on the big man. No. Big time back body drop. Go for another leg drop. Referee still dealing with the music apparently. But certainly Rollins ate a lot of leg drops, and it might go in the favor of LA Knight here. You never know what's going to happen here. As here comes LA Knight. Nice drop kick there. LA Knight looking pretty well right now. Can he keep this up? Could it be LA Knight's moment? Is he about to tell us what game it is? LA Knight trying to figure it out. He does. Here we go, LA Knight. Big time elbow right across the chest. And now LA Knight setting up Seth frickin' Rollins. Rollins in trouble. No, he reverses it. Oh, in a pivotal time. And now Rollins. No, LA Knight with a pivotal reversal. Back and forth we go. Oh, nice maneuver. Nice maneuver there from LA Knight. One heck of a matchup, even having Mark Henry get involved here. There's now LA Knight, high risk, high reward, big time frog splash, but it misses. Rollins was not going to make him pay. Or at least it seemed like he was going to. And now into the barricade you go. And back and forth, man. This is, LA Knight started off quick. Even had Mark Henry getting involved. Obviously, LA Knight did not want Mark Henry getting involved, but Henry was certainly getting involved. Oh, Jessica Carr is taken out. Jessica Carr is taken out. And now Rollins going to look to curb stomp LA Knight, and he does. Center of the ring. But obviously Rollins can't go for the pinfall because Jessica Carr knocked out momentarily. But Rollins will continue to bring the fight to LA Knight. It's a pedigree afterwards. And now, in a matter of moments, we've seen a curb stomp, a pedigree, and we might see another stomp. Number 2, LA Knight's down and out. As Jessica Carr finally starting up to her feet, LA Knight now with a BFT pinfall. 1, 2, 3. LA Knight has done it. LA Knight has done it. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. LA Knight coming out here doing well. And what cost Rollins tonight was the World Heavyweight Champion, Mark Henry. What a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. You couldn't ask for a better type of match. Do apologize if the quality went down at all during that matchup, but certainly what a matchup. LA Knight having himself a big quote-unquote early part of that matchup really saved him, as well as Mark Henry getting involved in this matchup, leading into a BFT from LA Knight, and that was it. And LA Knight is now going to Backlash to challenge for the World Heavyweight title. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this edition of Monday Night Raw, and we will see you on the next episode.